Hello everybody, this is Uncle Mike with my Kerbal Kareer, and we are just about to start mission 3. In mission 2, what we did was we did some hopping around Kerbin in our Musk Mark 1 Psi Hopper, so we were just getting science to unlock more in the research and development tree. And now that we've unlocked a bunch of stuff, now what we're going to do is we are going to go back and we are going to redesign here the Mark III, the Comrade Mark III, which is my unmanned vehicle program. So let's go ahead and load up here the Mark III. This was the Mark III right here, but we have unlocked quite a few things. We have now unlocked new fuel tanks. We have unlocked the new engines, especially some of the larger engines in the scenario here. We've also unlocked a large solid rocket booster. We've got a bunch of structural things now that we can play around with. Some we've unlocked, some we haven't, or we haven't bought yet. We've got a lot of structural elements. We did get the aerodynamic cones. That was the most important thing that I wanted to unlock. We still have the aerodynamic fins and landing legs and heat shields and all of this kind of good stuff. So yeah, it looks like now that's pretty much we unlocked the aerodynamics, new engines, new fuel tanks. So what we are going to do here is we are going to redesign the Comrade Mark III to be a Mark IV, and we are going to push for orbit, but we're also going to push for geostationary orbit. So we are going to now create a new craft. It is still going to be a Comrade program, so we are going to use to start out that which we have been starting out with the whole game, which is here a basic Probodyne. Raise this up because I think this is going to be a little bit of a bigger vehicle. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a satellite here. That's one of the main things that we wanted to do. So a couple things that I want to do is go ahead and put a battery on this. I think we unlocked some command. No, we did not unlock any command and control things. I want to exit out and go to, nope. Don't want to save this. So just get out of the VAB here. We want to go to the Research and Development Center. Want to look to see what we had available. So there, that is right there. I believe I really want to get that small reaction wheel. But all right, we'll see here. We'll go back. I have a design in mind. I think it will work. It's going to be based on that new solid rocket booster that we got. So trying out a new design, getting away from liquid fuels and going to solid fuels. So all right, so we have this little guy. So now what we're going to do is put on some fuel tanks. We've got some nice little Oscar B fuel tanks, which I'm pretty sure is all we're going to need for this design that I've got, which is basically, so these little guys, and now just that little spark engine we've got. All right, so now what we want to do is we really want to make this a satellite. So, and we want it to stay up. So for that reason, you're going to want to put a bunch of, think about how I want to do this. Like that. Let's go ahead and rotate this. Go. So there's that rotated. So now we got solar panels to keep this thing charged up. Now what we're going to want to do is, it's going to be a communication satellite. We need to, how do I purchase this thing? There we go. Purchase that one too. There we go. All right, so I think what I want to do now is put one of these. The whole point of this is just going to be communication. This is no longer a science mission here. Put one of those on like that, and then we want another one opposite so they can, little satellite can give signals both directions. And then we're basically gonna have redundancy on this, so we're gonna then put two of these, and we're gonna try. I think there's a little beveled edge right there, like that. All right, and then we're going to also put two of these now. It's like that. So this thing really has several antennae on it. A very simple little design here. Again, nothing fancy. It's the whole purpose of this is going to be just communication or relay. All right, so now what we're going to do is, got some structural elements here, but I only need this. I'm going to go ahead and take out the shroud. Now what we're going to do is we're going to connect this, because we bought these, so we're going to take 4 of these. Now we've got some struts. Now, what we unlocked recently is our new fairing. Oh yeah. We want the fairing now. I do want clamshell, which means you gotta raise up the clamshell force pretty high. So that's what I want there also. We need to make that with the orange. There we go. So there's our little satellite in here. And now what we want to do is we want to make this little satellite, we want to make it so it has, let's see, we can reduce this too though. This needs to be our decoupler, like about 20% on these. All right, so let's take a look at what we've got here. So that goes, bearing goes, everything's looking good. Now we just need a little orbit insertion tank. I'm thinking that nothing real. Ooh, no, it doesn't look right. I need probably more, because remember, we're trying to go to geostationary. So now we'll put the Terrier on this. Go. Now this is where it's going to get interesting, and I'm not sure if it's going to work. We're going to put that on there. Again, I don't like it that heavy, so we need about 20% on the decouple. And now what we are going to do is we are going to take this new kickback solid rocket booster and put it down here. So now what we're going to do is lower this down. There we go. Raise it up just a little bit. Go. All right, so there is, no, I still want some aerodynamics on this. I'm not going to be able to really fly this that much. So we're gonna put three. Oh no, I don't think. Nope, that takes me over, doesn't it? Oh, it takes me over my mass limit too. That's the issue. So this is not gonna work. We are gonna have to do some. This is the design that I have, so I'm going to go ahead and call this and save it. This is the Comrade. We are just going to have to do some contracts to get some more money so we can upgrade the VAB. Oops, that's not what I want to do. This is the Mark IV. All right, so I cannot launch this right now. So do we have any contracts? I believe, oh, we don't. Okay. So let's return to the Space Center. Let's get some contracts. Might have to fly the Mark III or some other. Let's see what other contracts that we can get. Tourists. Test the decoupler at the launch site. That would give us some money. What else do we have here? Orbit Kerbal. See, that's the skipper engine. Really just need. So this is haul it in a flight into flight over Kerbal. This is test the ant at a certain. We can get like 5,000. So it looks like we probably just need to do some of these. Let's get that one. And get that one. So we're just gonna have to get some money because we're gonna need to upgrade the VAB. We got to make these small little vehicles, and so it's just not gonna work out here. I just can't launch this right now. All right, so let's do new craft. Let's look at our. We got to test the decoupler at the launch site and the spark. So I think. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to here take one of our probe bodies. We need to test the decoupler, the TD06 is this one. We're going to put that right on top. The reason why I flipped it is that arrow points to what it's getting pushed away from. The flat side of the arrow is what stays attached. So this should just launch off. And then we are going to also, looks like, test the spark landed. So now what we can do is we can take the engine and the spark, put it on the bottom. Now, all right, let's see what happens with this. Just a little test pad here. See what we can do here with this. So we are just trying to do some contracts now to actually earn money. All right, so run the test. There we go. So that ran that test right there. We got that done. Now decouple this. Woo! Dang, you see that thing shoot up? Oh my god, where'd it go? Oh, there's where it went. So looks like we didn't. So landed is not at the launch pad, so we're gonna have to make a little test vehicle to do that one. So, well, we can probably do it on our little Musk Mark 1 Sci-Hopper. That is what we will try to do. But we can also now go and get some other, so we still need to test that decoupler. Landed on Kerbin. Now there's another decoupler. So there we go. We got 2 decouplers now that we can test. So let's go here. Let's load up the Sci-Hopper. We'll fly that around and then we'll just attach some decouplers to it and do that. So that's what we're going to do. See how this works out. We just need, let's go ahead and load up here. Musk Mark 1, named after Elon Musk of SpaceX. So there is our Sci-Hopper. So now what we're going to do, how many pieces? All right, we got plenty of pieces here. If we take the coupling, so these are the 2 couplings now. What we're going to do here is a structural element. I'm going to do this, see if we can get this to work. Go. So far, so good. Not exactly the best of what I wanted, but I think it'll work out. So now what we'll do is we'll put these 2 decouplers on here. Do something like that, yes. I'll now take this one, put it somewhere. No, so what we'll do, see if we can then, this is what I should have done in the first place. I can move all of them, so let's take this. There. Something like that. I'll put that right there. Oh, this is going to be a weird flying vehicle. But that should allow me to be able to test these now. Drop that down. Now let's drop this. So we're just running these tests. So let's go ahead and choose a launch site. We are going to launch from the desert. Added some weight. We'll see how this flies. Land it and then test those decouplers. Finish those contracts. So we're just doing contracts right here to earn funds. We just need funds so we can launch that Mark IV. That's the whole mission here. All right, so we're just going to fly this thing. So staging is nowhere near what I wanted. There we go. No, I don't even want that. I want those down there. That down there. Shoots down there. There we go. That's what I want right there. So staging is go. Throttle is go. SAS is go. T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This thing is really heavy that way. This is not looking good. And we lost the vehicle. Alright, well. Go ahead and recover the vehicle as best we can. Let's just overweight. I'm gonna have to play with that. I didn't look at the CG. That's what I should have done. It was too top heavy, so I just couldn't maintain control. So got parts back. Let's now go into the VAB. We need to fix the center of gravity. So this is the first time we've really had to be concerned now about center of gravity. Should have known that right off the bat, but hey, you know, you learn, you educate yourself. A pragmatic approach here. All right, so clearly you can see that this needs to be all moved over. So let's look at the center of mass here. You can see how it's offset. I really need it in line. So take this. That looks real good right there. There we go. It's good to have that. I mean, it's no problem. This should be okay now. Got some clipping there, but again, we're not actually pushing those off the vehicle. We're just testing them, so their forces are set to 0. So shouldn't push the vessel at all. Shouldn't push the vehicle once we land. We just need to land and then test it. That's the mission. So did not fix staging, so I need to about that. Go like it. So staging is go, throttle is go, SAS is go. T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition. Alright, so she wants to go this way, so we are just going to let her fly that way. Fly it out over the desert here. Alright, got a nice little flight going here. It's really a cool looking vehicle, though, I have to admit. Alright, I think we're out over the desert far enough. Let's start a descent. Got a little bit of a descent now. A little more throttle. Still got a ascent going. I need a descent here. There we go. Good, looking good. Need to come on down. There we go. Should take us all the way. Engine stop. Oh, oh, ooh, ooh, that was close. All right, so now that's 1. That's 2. Which one did I get though? Did it not work? Interesting. Oh, what? Oh, that's what it is. So landed at Kerbal. All right, so it looks like one of them I did, but this one is at the launch site. I just need to test it. All right, well, good. We can just recover the vehicle. Just launch the vehicle again and then test them at the launch site, which should then give us the contract. So we are going to launch that again at the launch site. Like I said, we are just trying to earn some funds so we can launch that newly designed Comrade Mark IV. All right, so here we go. Launching at the launch pad. Because we definitely have to work on some communication satellites. So, all right, so here is that now. So now, go ahead and decouple. Not it. All right, something is not right. It seems like activate the part through staging. All right, so recover it. That's what I'm doing wrong. I am not doing it through staging. I am doing it through the menu system there. So we shall do this again. Shouldn't really be costing me too many funds because I'm returning everything. It's costing me fuel though. Let's launch this again and then we'll just do it through staging. But I need to, no, I don't want to save this at all. So do not want to save this. All right, so launch site, there we go. I'll have to mess with staging. So we'll have to fix the staging, then we'll activate the engine with 0 throttle, and then we'll stage those. So, all right, so throttle to idle. Would put these here. Staging is go. So here we go. SAS is on. So what we're gonna do is activate the engine. Now we're gonna activate those decouplers in 3, 2, 1, mark. There we go. So now both of those are now done. There we go. Now we will recover the vehicle. So those are those done. Looks like I might need to just do, I'm trying to get funds. I guess we could design something, try to get something in orbit that would give us a tremendous amount of funds. But all right, so let's go ahead and see what we've got here. It gives us quite a bit of money. All the Wolfhound. Gotta get the Wolfhound pretty high up. The Ant. Skipper. And see, these are orbiting. That's what I definitely gotta work on doing an orbital vehicle. So what we're gonna do is we are going to come in here. We are going to design I think we might have to do an intermediate. I think what we just built is a Comrade Mark V. We need to get an orbital vehicle. So let's open this up. Let's open up the Comrade Mark IV. Is right here. What we are going to do is we are going to rename this the Mark V. We are now going to save that. Now we're going to reopen the Mark IV and redesign it. So here is the Mark IV. And so we're going to just completely redesign this. So we're going to take pretty much all of this off. I don't need, this is not going to, I don't necessarily want it to stay in orbit. Just want it to get to orbit. So it's all about the weight is right now is the problem. we are going to try to redesign this. Just the solid rocket booster is just right here. Oh, you know. So yeah, this booster is just way too heavy. For this reason, we are now going to switch over. Try to just redesign this by using liquid fuels. Go ahead and pin that so we can watch it get heavier and heavier. That solid rocket booster is one heavy booster. Wow. Not expecting that. Let's see here. 2, 6. We'll put an engine on this. Right, swivel. Again, this is just going to be, this is really a test vehicle here. Because we are just about at our max weight. Yes, we are at our max weight. So what we're trying to do is get this little probe now up into orbit. That way we can get a bunch of money. So what we're going to do now is we're going to call this the Comrade Mark IV. Very nice looking vessel. Man, what a great launch vehicle. Just looks great. All right, let's go ahead and now get our orbit Kerbal, and then the TS. This is a bunch. We test that while orbiting. So TS06. So I'm going to go ahead and take that. I'm not even sure which one that is. We might have to take another decoupler with us. You can see what we got here. The TS06. Load this back in. See what the TS06 is. That's the little guy. Real low. So now we're overweight. We're over height. That's what it is too. Very interesting. Is there any constraints? Well, it's a pretty high orbit too that we've got to be at. So, whew. All right. So we are over height, but we can redesign our fairing here. Go. All right, let's go ahead and save now our new Mark IV. Let's check at staging. So we got main engine, separation, second stage. We'll get rid of the fairing. And then we've got our test up here. So we will then, that is the test coupling. So we'll put it at the highest. We've got that. I don't care about the vehicle burning up. That's not what this is. This is literally just a disposable Comrade here. And I can go ahead and now put though. There's that. What does that do? That makes it overweight. That really matters, huh? Okay, well, we will not be using that then. All right, so let's save this. Let's launch this. I do not know if I have enough thrust to weight ratio. I do not know here. This is a ad hoc vehicle to try to get to orbit. It looks right. It looks good. It's just I do not know if that skipper engine has got enough oomph. I think it does. It should. So let's go ahead and get all our information. So what do we want to do? So we need to orbit, and we need to get to a pretty high orbit. So all right, so staging looks good. We are go for staging. Throttle is go. SAS is go. We're go flight. T minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Oh, this thing is really heavy. I can't even get off the ground yet. Ooh. Ooh, this is gonna be real interesting, everybody. Alright, so we burnt the fuel to get off the ground. Still want to maximize. Alright, I do not know if this is going to work. We now know with that Mark IV we're going to have to reduce the fuel that we're carrying to get a better launch. We're just now passing through 100 meters per second. Don't want to do a very aggressive pitch program here because I need to maximize altitude. That little Terrier that's in the second stage isn't really going to help me out, so passing through 12 kilometers in altitude, 2 Gs, coming up 500 meters per second. Looking good here. That was a very interesting launch there. We just did not have the thrust to weight ratio right, but it was a complete guess. So clearly this vehicle is maxed out for the weight of that swivel. It's actually overweight for the swivel. Alright, got a little bit of heating effects here, but we have that protective aerodynamic shell, so I'm not too worried about it. Plus I want to maximize my speed to orbit, so I need altitude. Probably going to do a pretty good coast phase here too. It's hard to see, we're not launching at night, but there we go. Staging. Yeah. Go. Right. We'll see what we've got here. Alright, we need like 3 something, so it looks like we're going to easily get there. Alright. Alright, we're going to have a fairly long coast phase here. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to really see it, but here we go. So now we're going to go ahead and ditch the fairings. There goes the fairings. Nice. Excellent. Well done. Alright, looking real good here. Let's go ahead and deploy the antenna. Just to maximize our communication with the Space Center. There we go. All right, let's take a look at our contract here. We need to get 320. We need to orbit, so 320 here. So what we're going to do is we're going to warp up here. All right, there we go. Go ahead and mark that on. I think we can get the vehicle onto prograde. I'm just flying here in map view. Gonna get to prograde, start a prograde burn, and start to now create an orbit. Go. Looking good. We got plenty of fuel here in this, so this is an orbital vehicle right here. I'll push that away here a little bit. There we go. I think I went a little too far. 298. It's gonna yaw this. I need to descend now. Actually, I'm too high right now. Oh no, I'm not. I'm in orbit. I'm at good altitude. So we need to do the test here. Let's go ahead. We don't need the nav ball here. So now let's just test this. We're in the right spot. And now we're going to decouple. There goes decoupler. So we now are in orbit. We got our orbit. Oh, but I did it again. I activated it that way instead of, oh my god. That did not count. So what we got to do now, we need to now deorbit this. So we're going to go retrograde before we lose communication with this. Go ahead and do a deorbit burn now. All right, so there we go. Now we'll just deorbit that. Oh, dang, forgot to do it through staging. It requires it to do it through staging, but we can do that flight again and get it right this time. So it's not really an error of the vehicle design or anything. It's just Uncle Mike here is just not doing the buttons the right way. But look at this. We have enough funds, I believe. Oops, I didn't want to do that. We have enough funds now to upgrade the VAB, so we're not limited by as much by pieces and by weight. So then we can fly that Mark V, which I think will be is going to be our first geostationary satellite. So let's get out of this, go back to the Space Center here. I need to manage the building and upgrade the building. So all right, so let's go ahead and upgrade the building. It's 225, gives me max parts. Ooh, it still does, it gives me more parts, but not more weight. But more parts is good anyways. I'm still gonna get it. I'm still gonna do it. All right, so let's go in. We know we have this vehicle now that will get us to orbit. So we can do that contract. We could also, I guess I should have looked to see what other contracts I had. There might be another one for orbit. So now my constraints are still 18 tons, but I can add more components now. So, all right, well, that probably wasn't actually worth it, but that's the mistakes we make. So we know that this is good. But now we know we have to stage this. So what we want to do is move this down. So our test stage is right here in staging. Also, there's no reason. This is a separator, so make that 0. There we go. All right, so I'm going to save that. That's the Mark IV. I'm going to go see if there's another contract. Well, I should probably not have done that, but I am not. I am having to live with all of my mistakes and my decisions, so. All right, flight over Kerbin, test some stuff. The skipper and the ant. Explore Kerbin. What is this? Return to Kerbin from orbit. All right, that's no problem. We can probably get that done. Very cool. Bring one tour. I'm not doing manned stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and decline that. All these functionals I'm also going to decline. So now we've got some other ones. Position a satellite in a polar orbit of Kerbin. Nice. Nice. Way out there too. Ooh, wow. I think we can do it though. I think we could do that. That's pretty good. So there's nothing else. I still need to do that, fly this mission again. That's what we are going to do here. We're going to fly away with me. So yeah, we are going to go ahead and redo this flight. But what we do know about this is we need to now take some fuel out of this. So I'm going to empty. No, I don't even know why I do that. I just need to take take a tank off. All right, so 3 on here. Do that. Save the Mark IV. Let's launch it. So this should now get us immediately off the launch pad. So we are doing that same mission, but now we need to use it through staging. Need to read the notes better. All right, so staging is go, throttle is go, SAS is go, flight we are go. We are T-5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition. There we go. Now we're released right off the pad initially. There we go. Nice. Very, very, very nice. All right. Got a little bit of a pitch program going on to 090 on the heading. Equatorial. There we go. Much better flight this time. Alright, 100 meters per second. Start now our pitch program. And really good now. And bring up our staging information so we have that readout. Battery's looking good. Passing through max Q and transonic. Looking good. Everything's looking real good here on flight. Passing through 10 kilometers, 400 meters per second. Real good. Another night launch here. Probably need to launch in the day, especially for the YouTube video, so you guys can see what's really going on, because even I have a hard time seeing what's going on. We are just flying on instruments here. And what I'll do with these is once we get to about 3 G's of acceleration on the nav ball, then I'm going to back it off to 2. We're about to now, so we can start to get heating, so I'm going to go ahead and throttle back 2 G's. Yeah, it looks like that's working out really good. Continue our pitch program here, about 45 degrees, all we're looking for. Once we go through staging here, then I will switch to map view. Throttle back to 2 G's. Coming up on MECO, separation and second stage firing. Alright, MECO and separation, staging. Go. Alright, let's go to our view. Click on our information. Go ahead and pitch over here. Looking for 325 for an apoapsis. There we go. Everything is looking good here. Let's go ahead and get the Milky Way. Let's go ahead and do our fairing separation. There we go. Fairing is separated. Just so we have control, let's go ahead and extend the antenna. All right, there we go. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and warp on up here. There we go. We just need to go ahead and get onto prograde. Really sure why I'm taking out the roll, but I am. All right. Alright, we're going to do it burn. Go ahead and get into orbit. It doesn't need to be circular, it just needs to be orbit. Engine stop. We're at still a good altitude. So now we want to then stage that up on top. There we go. Now completed that. Nice. That is really nice. Want to do the same thing now. Go ahead and do a deorbit burn. This crash into crash back into Kerbal. Let's go to map view so we can see where this is going. Burn. There we go. So another deorbit burn, so that debris, you can see we've got debris here that has splashed down. Just cannot. This one, this is actually in orbit. All right, so eventually we're gonna have some junk that we're gonna have to deal with. Maybe we could capture it eventually. That would be really cool. So all right, looking good. Now we got that deorbiting. All right, so now let's go to the Space Center. Now we've got quite a bit of contracts done. We got some more money. Back to 100,000. See what contracts else we have. Explore Kerbal. So we need to orbit and then come back and land. We can also test some stuff. Gotta get rid of that one. See what else we got here. Turbofan engine. No, don't want to do that. Rid of that one. So very interesting here of what we've got to be able to do here. We got some test ones, but it looks like we're just gonna have to redesign and wait here. We just got a limitation of the amount of components that we can use, and it's probably a lot of funds to upgrade the VAB. But we had a very nice plan. The Mark V is sitting there ready to go. The Mark IV is a very nice vehicle right now. So this is a very nice vehicle. We know that this has a lot of potential. So we just need to redesign and see what we can do here. How much Delta V and stuff that we can go ahead and get out of this type of vehicle. So we might have to redesign. Also the Mark IV. So we'll see. We'll just see what we're gonna do. Let's go back to the Space Center here. Let's see about those vehicles that are that debris and stuff too. So we cannot destroy or terminate. That must be an upgrade. So these cannot. So we cannot destroy these yet. So all right. So let's fly this guy. I want to go back up here. Maybe he'll get in the sun. We can get some nice photos and stuff. So this is Mission 3 here. We pressed for orbit. Everything's looking good here in mission 4 here. Yeah, we're just about to get to sunrise. That's nice to see here. There is sunrise, so now we get some photos for our Xbox, or not Xbox, I'm playing on Xbox, but for the YouTube thumbnails here for our Kerbal Kareer. So very good. So this is mission 3, not mission 4. This is mission 3. Let's see what we've got here. There's the MUN. Let's go ahead and see if we can orient this vehicle in kind of a neat way as it's deorbiting. Oh. Cool. Very, very cool. Take a screenshot of that too. There we are. All right, so this is already deorbiting. So we've got some junk. We got this piece of junk. We got a bunch of debris floating in the water and landed, and so eventually we will figure out how we can get rid of those. So all right, everything is deorbiting the way that we think it can deorbit. So I'm not really sure when we can go ahead and terminate those other pieces. So, well, this has been mission 3, press for orbit of my Kerbal Kareer. So mission 3, press for orbit, has been somewhat successful. We're learning a lot as we go through here the Kareer. So just remember, you are awesome. So thumbs up because you're amazing. Subscribe, chime that bell to get notified. am Uncle Mike Mike.